why I feel this way. Every day I wanna run away. I think I'll go back to that place I stay. Play on the server the TimeShot way. Hello people, it's Poet, and we're on TimeShot. I'm just working on finishing off this main part of the road, the bridge. What is? Yeah, I guess this is a bridge. Not quite sure what to call it, but just decided that I was gonna actually start doing the branched off areas, the little side bridges. And I decided that the way that I was going to do it was, here, where can I get a better view of it? Right over here, I think. So you can see that this bridge goes off of basically the middle of this pillar. Okay, so you've got a pillar, bridge across it. Makes sense. And the way that I wanted to do it next, because the next pillar would be right there. I've placed them all out. I've figured it out. The next one would be right there, but I think that's a little bit too close. So now what I've decided is I'm going to space it every 2 pillars. So there's one here, and we're going to have one there, and one there. And then that'll be the end, which will make it very symmetrical looking, and will give us more than enough little bridges and rooms. Let me just do the math on that. At least, let's see here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, so 8 rooms total. That'll be more than enough for now. I think what we do, if we ever, I don't imagine that'll ever happen. Like, that's an astronomical amount of donations. But if we ever reached a limitation, we'd start making little side rooms bigger rather than this room. What I did is I went and I took this wall down by 1. That didn't take too long. It took quite a while, but not too long. But what I found out, I started working over here, and I found out that this wall was too close by 1 as well. Because when I went to place down these, I was spacing them all out. It was 1 short, and the pillars would have been short. So I actually had to take this whole wall down too. This didn't take as long as this wall. It's a shorter wall. And in doing so, it broke open this little pathway that I forgot that I had made. Someone's caving adventure. This wasn't me who caved in there. And mushrooms growing. But I took this whole wall down, and then I branched across, I pillared across, I took down all the torches that were on the walls. Every single torch that was on the walls. Because ultimately, when this project is done, I want my lighting to be very, very, very specific. You know, I want the lighting to make certain shapes on the walls. You know, I like the shadows zigzag like that. I don't want it to look quite like that. I want it to be uniform, you know. If I place light inside those, which I have, I want it to light up a circle. I want it to light up another circle. I want it to light up a circle. And I want the lighting to even look very symmetrical, if that makes sense to you guys. Everything matters. Everything matters in this room. Everything has to be perfect. I want it to be so perfect that it's just the most perfect thing you've ever seen. The only wall that I didn't do any, I didn't take the torches down on was this last wall here. There's just one there, and I think just the one there and there and there. So that'd actually be very easy to take that one down. And then I'd have to run across the top and take all those down as well. That's easy too. And then that wall would be done. But I don't want that to be taken down quite yet, because I want to be able to see up here and get the scale of things and decide how big this entrance is going to be. I'm actually thinking making it even just a big arch. It's hard to explain. You'll see. You'll see. I got things going in my mind that make sense to me, and that's, I guess, what matters. Anyway, let's see what we could talk about today. I just watched this video. Huck actually sent it to me, or sent it to everybody, on Twitter. and I ended up watching it. It was a video that someone posted on Facebook. It was apparently an older video of Bruce Lee, the martial artist Bruce Lee. And it was such an awesome video. Like, this video blew my mind. Like, it's very rare for a video to be able to do that. But I'm not kidding you, this video blew my mind. When I watched it, I was just... It left my jaw hanging open pretty regularly. So that was a pretty good feeling, I think, to watch something that epic. I don't have any logs or wood or things like that. I need torches. I need like one torch. I don't have any wood to make it. I have to go back up. But anyway, this video, you gotta watch it. I think it was just called I Am Bruce Lee or something like that. Or just look up Bruce Lee videos and you'll find it eventually. It was basically him talking about water. And this is what Huck posted in his tweet. He said, "Be water, my friends." And I was like, what? What does that mean? So I watched this video, and it's Bruce Lee describing kind of a way of thinking. And he said, you know, you got to be like water. If you put water in a glass, it becomes the glass. If you put water in a bottle, it becomes the bottle. And he goes on to say things like, water can flow and water can crash. Become water, my friends. And it's just, that mentality just, it struck me as being so good. I don't know. It made so much sense, and it showed all these scenes of the things that he could do, in the way that he was truly a martial arts master. Did I have sticks somewhere around here? Somewhere? Looking. Don't find any. Nope. No, I guess not. I thought I had a lot. I must have brought them all over to the other base. But yeah, it's just that kind of thinking is what made him truly one of the masters of this world. And I'm not just talking about martial arts. I mean in every way. I mean like in mind, body, and spirit. But yeah, it was just such a cool video. Him playing, I think it was him, it sure looked like him, playing ping pong with nunchaku. You know, the nunchucks, whatever you want, however you want to call them. He was playing ping pong with them. Or he would attach a match striker to the end of them, and he was lighting matches that someone was throwing through the air. It was so cool. Everything about it. I just loved watching it. It was a really mind-blowing video. And, you know, the funny thing is that he was being entertaining, but his goal was just basically to be himself, and he was still able to bring that kind of jaw-dropping, awe-inspiring sense about him that I am so envious of, that I wish I could relate to in some way. Look at this guy down here. That's not good. I don't have any bow and arrow. I can't fight him. I guess I could go down and attack him like this. Uh-oh. Ouch! Hey! Hey, hey! Don't want to die because of a slime. That would be depressing, wouldn't it? Where did he go? There he goes. Okay, so he was down here. I'm just going to light it up a little bit more. Probably actually spawned on the stairs. But I thought I just saw a creeper. No, it was a slime, I guess. I thought I saw a creeper down here, but I guess not. Well, anyway. Bruce Lee, that video inspired me in ways that will affect me for quite some time. And it was just a little short video. But still, it was a powerful video. And I'd definitely watch it again. I watched it quite a few times, but I'd watch it again. And I'm asking everybody here to watch it too. That was so cool. So I wanted to kind of talk about just the things that inspire you in life and that kind of thing. You know, what inspires you? Who inspires you? Um, Tell me in the comments, maybe. A lot of people on YouTube inspire me, and this is kind of why. That's actually what brought me to doing Minecraft videos. Is that I got inspiration from watching other people. Amongst those were, I guess I could tell you the history. I've told it before, but I'll tell you again, just because people like hearing it and that kind of thing. Is, you know, how did I become a YouTuber and what inspired me to do it and that. Um, Quite a bit of it was to do with back then when I started doing videos. I was actually doing it for my girlfriend at the time, which is, it sounds funny. And I've told people this before, and they're like, "Oh, that's interesting." You know, that's kind of interesting that happened. But what happened was she had depression quite a bit, um, clinical depression, very unhappy all the time. And I was constantly looking for things that we could do together, things that we could kind of spend time doing together, that would take her mind off of it. Because if you know someone who has depression, one of the biggest things is that, at least I think this. Like I constantly said, I don't know what it's like to have it because I don't have it. So it's very hard for me to understand what it's like. But I do my best, and one of the things that at least she used to tell me was that she liked having something to take her mind off of life and in general, and just to kind of relax to. And so I was always looking for things to fill that void, to kind of just give us something to do together, so that you're not just kind of sitting there contemplating life and getting more and more down on yourself and things like that. So one of those things was actually doing YouTube videos. But the way that it kind of came to that decision, so that was kind of the reason why I started, was for the person that I cared about, to make her happy, was the reason that we started it. We started it together because it was kind of something that we could both do together, and spend time doing, and working on videos and working on the content and entertaining you guys was kind of the thing to fill the gap. Of course, it kind of, what we learned was that it had the negative effect as well, where if you get negative comments or dislikes on videos, or things like that, that can be very, very, very bad, very, very upsetting to someone who does have depression. So unfortunately, it was kind of what? Hey, look at that! We're all online. We all have 4 deaths. 4 deaths club. Anyway, yeah, like I was saying, it had the detrimental problem of, negativity in comments and what people can say and what people do and so on. It was actually kind of, she had to stop doing videos. She, I think, might still do the odd one now and again, but really when she does, she realizes how upsetting it can be again and stops. So for me though, I got the bug, I got that feeling where I just couldn't stop. Videos became a part of what I did. They now, my own videos inspire me to keep doing videos. As funny as that sounds, but for me it was kind of, I just can't picture doing anything else now. But the way that it started, if we're to rewind even further back, what made me decide to try it, because like I said, that's the reason I started doing it, was because I wanted something to do together. But how I came up with that idea, it was kind of both of us. We used to watch YouTube videos from time to time, but the videos that I watched on YouTube were not Minecraft. I never watched Minecraft. I had never played Minecraft, really. I had played it occasionally, again, as one of those types of things, just to fill the gap. But never thinking about recording. Not once. But we started watching videos of people who did recording in Minecraft from time to time. People like Good and BOO doing their legendary series. It was one of the things that really got us thinking that we could do it too. And I think it was just because of the way that they presented it was talentless. And I don't mean to say that in such a rude way, but that's kind of I'm going for shock factor. But that's exactly why it was inspired. Was not talentless. That's not the right word, but seeing just how easy they made it was what inspired us to try. Two Girls One Minecraft were another one that we watched. Me specifically, I liked watching, which is funny because they're on the server now, and yeah, that you know, we know them very well. But they were some of the first videos that I saw were of Two Girls One Minecraft, and of course, people like Simon and Lewis from the Yogscast were doing Minecraft videos. Then we ran into Kurt J. Mack doing his Farlands or Bust. And he became part of the whole Mindcrack group as well. And we watched those kinds of videos, and we watched them, and it wasn't that they were talentless. I was using that word kind of harshly. The thing was that they were done in a way that we could see, hey, wait a minute, we're playing Minecraft together already, and we talk while we do it already. Why don't we just kind of, you know, start recording that? It seems so easy. Now, me and her, we had two different ways, two different opinions, I guess, really, of how to do videos. She was very, very, very professional in the way that she did the videos, which I don't think is a bad thing, you know, if that's the way that you want to do it. Look at all those levels. You know what? Let's take those levels, and we're going to go and make those rubber booties. We're going to fix them up and wear them, because I think we only need 37 levels for that. We're at 39 right now. Crazy. But anyway, she wanted to do it very professionally, and what she didn't like about the way that I did, because we always critiqued each other's videos and stuff back in the early days. And this is back when we only had like maybe 20, 30 followers each. You know, we didn't have you guys telling us what you liked and what you didn't like. We only had each other to kind of tell what we should do and what we shouldn't do. We used to tell each other, like, you know, well, I don't think you should say this kind of thing. I think you were talking a little bit too quietly. You shouldn't really have long periods where you just jump around and talk like I always do in my videos and things like that, which I still do. But what we would do, the critiquing, we would say things like, you know, I'm trying to not lose my train of thought here. What was I coming here for? I came down there. Ran down. You know what I do need, actually, while I'm up here? Is more of these. But that's not why I'm here. Why did I come up here? Oh yeah, the boots! The boots! The boots! The boots! We got the boots! But anyway, back to the story. We would critique each other and stuff, and she had a very professional way of doing things. She didn't like the way that I did my videos. If I'm to be honest. Why does it keep doing that? Look at this. It keeps taking away. Huh? What's going on with this? Is this lag? Must have been. Look at this. Huh? What is... I'm like taking... I'm trying to place more, and it just keeps like undoing that thing. Look at this. Is that normal? I'm just right-clicking. I'm not doing anything else. I'm just right-clicking. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is like lagging now or something. What? I'm going to just sit here. I'm just going to let it. I'm just going to see if it fixes itself. Maybe. Um, too expensive with 3. Okay. Can you take 2? Yes, you can. What have I done? Did it break it and give me... Ah, it did. It's so upsetting. And now it's going to cost 34 to get up to where I was with the 36 levels. You know, that's just... I am upset. But, lag aside... Why is it lagging like that? I don't get it. Nothing else seems to be lagging. I can open these chests just fine. I can probably break blocks just fine. Let me go check. Yeah. There's maybe a second of lag, not even. Like, the way you test it is... Just type test, and when it appears... Test. It's 1 second, maybe. But, well... I don't know. I don't get it. At least we have slightly repaired Unbreaking 3, Feather Falling 4, Projectile Protection 4 booties. Which means that we can now fall from high distances, and it only takes a little tiny bit of damage, which I love. But anyway, excuse me. She had a very professional way of doing things, and she actually, if I'm to be honest, didn't like the way that I did my videos, from the critiques that she would give me. She didn't like that I was always kind of acting goofy and silly and, you know, getting myself killed and breaking things and yelling at the cows and chickens. And, you know, if I had my dinosaur series, I'd be talking with the dinosaurs and, you know, just playing around with it. And she didn't like that. She wanted a more professional, you know, the Mindcracker style of doing things, if I'm to put it into words that way, I guess. In that a lot of people will know what that means. Just kind of more professional, you know? And that was not for me at all. I just wanted to be myself. I just wanted to be, you know, I wanted to have fun with it. And if I couldn't have fun with it, there wasn't any point to doing it. And that's what I kept saying. You know, if I can't have fun, why am I doing this? So that's kind of the way that I always looked at it. But did I ever complete the thought that, you know, the reason that we decided to do it was because we saw how easy the other people made it. You know, it looked to me like a lot of them were just having fun with it. They were just acting normal, acting natural, acting as they normally would. And in doing so, they were able to make huge followings and have great amounts of videos and have fun doing what they do. And that's why we decided to try it. We decided to give it a try. Was because we saw them doing it and we said, you know what? That's pretty easy. You know, we're not tooting our own horn at all. But if you get the right software, if you get the right hardware, we could do it too. Why not? You know, what makes them so special? It's, you know, is it in the delivery? Of course. Of course it is. There's a lot that can be said about, you know, that kind of stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. All right. Got to figure out now where I'm going to start my next pathway. Is that centered on it? Yes, I would say that that is. So 1, 2. Okay, and then this is the center, right? Yeah. And 1, 2, like that, I guess. Alright. Right. The thing that I thought would bother me is that these pathways aren't centered on this pattern, but at the same time, I don't think that that really matters too much. I think that it'll be fine. Hey-oh. But yeah, we saw that people making videos for YouTube, they were having it pretty easy. I mean, it's not easy. It really isn't. It takes a lot of work. But we were confident that we were able to put that amount of work into a project like this, is the best way to describe it. We knew that if we put our minds to something, we could accomplish it. We could do it. And thankfully, we tried, because we were right. We were able to go ahead and make videos, and that was that. But we didn't just start making videos. You know, we did our research, definitely. And we wanted to be the best right from the start. We wanted everything the best that we could get. We wanted the best microphone. We wanted the best video quality, and things like that. So we really tried to get all of that out of the way right away, because we didn't want to be in a situation where we looked at other videos of people who were trying it who weren't successful, and we would critique them too, saying, well, you know, listen to this guy's microphone. You know, it's absolutely terrible. And we didn't want to be like that, you know. Some people out there have been very successful, despite the fact that they don't have the best of the best technology. I remember distinctly, actually, one of the people who inspired me to try was B00, and I actually started watching his videos specifically. Good, the other guy in the Legendary series, I couldn't stand his videos, if I'm to be fairly very honest and open about that. I don't know. He almost had. It was almost like looking at me and my then girlfriend, my ex. B00 had a more lighthearted, fun way of looking at his videos, I suppose, is the way to look at it. And Good had the more professional way of looking at his videos. So I was, you know, in that situation where I enjoyed his videos more because they related more to the style that I wanted to show people. And it wasn't copying, if anything. It wasn't imitation. It was just inspiration. There's a big difference. So I looked at the way that he did his videos, and I was like, oh, you know what? He has fun doing them, and I want to be able to have fun doing them. And he also had serious talks, kind of like what we're having now, where he would talk about the way that people behave and the way that people act in comments and the way that people supported him and the way that he had problems at work. And just listening to those kinds of stories, it made me want to do more of those kinds of stories. Now, unfortunately, I don't watch his videos anymore. I've moved on. I don't find them to be too interesting anymore, for my own personal taste reasons. But still, I remember back when I was just getting started, I needed that person to inspire me to keep doing what I did. You know, when I was completely running out of ideas for videos and stuff, I'd watch one of his and think, oh, you know what? He's doing this and he's still having fun doing it, and yeah, I just want to keep doing it. You know, it was that little tiny feeling that watching those videos gave me. So, you know, that was great. But yeah, I had the more lighthearted way of doing videos, and my ex had the more serious way of doing videos. And I don't know if that's what ultimately leads to me keep doing what I do, and now she doesn't do the videos anymore. Because I think that if you take anything in life way too seriously, especially when it comes down to like working on something, that you're eventually going to find it to be a chore. You're going to find that it's not as enjoyable as you would like it to be, you know? At least that's my opinion. I never want to take work seriously again. You know, if ultimately the YouTube thing doesn't pan out and in my future, probably not. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. I really don't know. I can't picture myself being a 60-year-old making YouTube videos, but I can't say for sure because I'm not there yet. But one thing that I can say is, you know, um, I don't want to take it seriously. If I do get a real job, I don't want to take that seriously either, you know? I just want to have fun with whatever I do from now on. And that's a lesson I learned by doing this. But yeah, talking about inspirations, I mean, I've heard from a lot of people that I've been their inspiration. And I guess it's kind of in the same way, you know? I make these videos seem easy enough to do, maybe, is exactly it. The same as those guys that I used to watch made their videos seem easy enough to do. Like, anybody can do it, and it's true. We've had the talks of, you know, whether you should try or not, and, you know, what motivates you to do that. But not just for YouTube. Doing videos and things like that. That's my life, personally, but other things can inspire you to do good things too. You know, when it comes to charities, I look at the situations that happened with me when I was in dire straits. My power had been turned off. I couldn't afford to go to the store to buy food. I was literally just sitting in my cold room. It was the middle of winter, under a blanket, using the internet off of my cell phone, which still did have the bill paid. Although I had bounced that month's bill, it still was connected to the internet, thankfully, and still had power and all that. I was sitting there in the glow of my little laptop, and I just remember, you know, people being so kind to me and supporting me, and it touched me in ways that I'll never truly be able to express, you know? I think I want to explore this way, actually. I think I want to go that direction and see where it leads, because it's not my tunnel. And if I'm going to be actually digging through to here, I kind of want to make sure that, you know, it's not someone's... Suddenly you come into someone's underground strip mine or something like that. We're pretty high up, but I just want to make sure that this is all okay. So we're going to finish off this episode by doing a little bit of caving. What's this here? Must have been a water source that someone turned off. Maybe me. I don't know. Maybe this was me. I'm going to collect some coal while I'm at it. What is this pick? Unbreaking? Yeah. So anyway, people supported me. You guys, the fans, donated to get me out of that slump that I was in. And it inspired me to start donating towards Heifer International, which was a society that, or a charitable organization, I should say, not a society, a charitable organization that gives to countries, third world countries specifically, but any country that has trouble getting basic necessities of life, such as water, food, power, you know, things like that. Because not being able to feed myself is what really, really, really got to me. You know, having no power, that was one thing. It was kind of cold, but, you know, I'm Canadian, I can take the cold. Not having food was just unbelievably difficult for me. It was tough. It was really tough. I, as a grown man, was finding myself weeping sometimes, like just sobbing because, what can I do? I thought I was gonna die. I thought my life was over. That I'd have to go stand in line at the soup kitchen, for the homeless. And I was looking at homelessness, honestly. It's so funny that, here I am. I'm sitting now in my warm house. I'm sipping really nice coffee, talking to you guys on the internet, playing a game. But it can really be that close. One month you're perfectly fine. The next month you're in so much trouble. You just don't know what to do. That's what it was like. And it inspired me to give, because you guys helped me, and I was suddenly fine. It's the same way. Is one month you're not okay, the next month, because of you guys, I was perfect. I was able to pay all my bills. I was able to take care of my food situation. And because I had that extra money, well, it wasn't extra, but because I knew that I was going to be getting paid the next month from YouTube, and I'd be able to pay my bills that month, I started a charity, the Kill Poet charity, which I really had fun with. I'd love to do that again, the Kill Poet live stream, where people were donating to see me die in Minecraft, and each dollar that I got from there went straight to Heifer International to support their charity, to give someone in a third world country who really has nothing. Like, I mean, here at least I was complaining, but I have a roof over my head. These people don't even have roofs over their head. There's always someone who's going to be worse off in the world, and I will always support the little guy. I will always donate when I can. So that kind of, that inspiration, you guys inspired me to donate, to be charitable, even though I might have myself needed the charity. So that kind of worked out in two different ways, and the second one, the other charity, was with the frozen water pipes. My city had the coldest temperatures reported in over 30 years, and I think that's almost as far back as their records of coldness go. The coldest temperatures in that long, and because of that, the frost penetrated the ground 9 feet down, I heard, which is absolutely crazy. Your water pipes are only 5 feet, 6 feet, sometimes 7 feet, but even then, if the frost is 9 feet down, your pipes are freezing. And what happened was, I didn't have water. My pipes froze, and, try to get water out of a frozen hose. It doesn't work. So, just like that, my frozen water pipes leading to my house, there was nothing I could do. I was out of water. I was out of water for 8 days. I wasn't able to bathe. I wasn't able to drink water. I wasn't able to cook any of the food that I had bought that needed water, like any of the pasta, things like that. Rice needs water. Just think of all the things that you need water for, and you realize how often you take it for granted, having water. Being able to wash your hands if you get them slightly dirty, like, that's something that really matters to me. I'm not a hypochondriac or a germaphobe or anything like that, but I like having clean hands. I mean, I just like having clean hands. What's wrong with that? So not being able to even wipe my hands down when they were dirty was, so many little things that you don't even think about until you don't have water. And so what happened was, I got my water pipes thawed by the city after 8 days, and I won't even kid you, almost a week later, my pipes froze again. They just froze again. I was running my water fairly regularly, but, I left it. It was actually, I feel so bad. I left my water not running, and I played a game on Hypixel. That's unbelievable, isn't it? I played one game on Hypixel of like Mega Walls or something, and I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to play one more game. Just one more game of Mega Walls, and then I'll go and I'll turn the water on, let it run for a little while. It'll be okay. Well, it wasn't okay. It was furthest from okay. My water shut off again, and I knew that from the first time it was 8 days. This time they told me it was going to be more like 30 days. They said 12, but I knew it would be 30 because, well, now I know it was going to be 30 because people who had their pipes frozen on that date, it took them almost 30 days to get them thawed, which is just unbelievable to think. And I knew that I had company coming to stay with me for the 2 weeks. Neo was coming to visit, and here I had no water. Picture that. It's one thing if I don't have water for a month. I would probably have moved back home with my parents. I said to my dad that I was taking a trip to Florida. I'll see you next spring, I'm done. I can't deal with this right now. I'm done. And that's what I said to him. Whether that was true or not, I don't think that was true. I didn't have the money to travel, but I was seriously contemplating going somewhere just to get away from all that, the freezing weather, the frozen pipes, and everything like that. But Neo was coming to visit, and I was so. You want to see me upset? I was so upset. I've never felt so. I'm not a depressed person. I'm actually a very upbeat person most of the time, but I felt a depression hit me so bad when the realization that I wouldn't have water, when I would have someone staying with me. It was almost too much for me to take. It was really, really, really difficult, but thankfully I was able to get through that. It only took them a couple days, and they were out with an experimental device to fix my water. But the whole situation, and why I mentioned this whole story once again, was because it inspired me to donate yet again. I like being charitable. I know it's not one of those feelings. I know that there are people out there, and I used to work with people like this, which was really terrible. How you can be so vain, so shallow, so, they donate because it would boost their public image. That's something I can't stand. I cannot stand that. These were salesmen that I worked with, and donating was something that they could put on a piece of paper to say, well, I donated to this charity this year, and that disgusts me. It truly does. The fact that people don't donate just out of the kindness of their heart, but the fact that they donate so that it gives them something. And I talked about that too when people left comments on my videos here on TimeShot asking me, well, what do we get for donating? And it's one of those things where it's like, you donate to feel good about donating. You donate for that reason alone, really. You should never donate to any purpose just because you get something out of it. That doesn't make sense. The world would not turn if it was that way, So, I worked with people who were like that, but that's not how I was with it at all. I decided then and there that I was going to donate once again to water.org. Because I enjoy donating. I enjoy it makes me feel good to know that I'm going to help someone else in need. So water.org, I've heard rumor that PewDiePie also donates to them quite a bit. And they're fairly big in the Minecraft community. I had no idea until I signed up for this charity event. I signed up for a a charity event that never happened, unfortunately. I really wish it could have happened. I'm not going to mention the details of it yet because it might still happen in the future. But it was me and about 60 other big name YouTubers signed up for this charity event. We were on 4 different teams, and what we were going to do was each team would be going for a different charity. So of the 4 teams, we got to see the list of who people picked, because they didn't let you pick teams, but they let you pick a charity. And I picked water.org. It was one of the options because, hey, that's where I wanted to donate my money. What do you know? It's almost like fate in a way. That was one of the options given to me. I didn't get to choose it as an option, but that was one of the options. And when we saw the list of who's on what team, water.org was maybe the biggest one, and then Child's Play Charity was the second biggest that all the Minecrafters were on, which makes sense because it's very heavily supported by especially the Mindcrack community with Kurt J. Mack and his Farlands or Bust charity that he does, and Flobathons that he hosts, and I know that Nia specifically, Two Girls with Minecraft, they're a part of that sometimes too. So it's really big in the Minecraft community, Child's Play Charity. But I was very surprised to see that water.org, the thing that I thought nobody else would be a part of, we had maybe the biggest team. But that was kind of my inspiration, was my pipes freezing and having that realization that I knew what it was like not to have that basic life necessity, that human right that is water. When you don't have something, you realize very quickly how necessary it is. And, sometimes hardships can actually be pretty inspiring, as funny as that sounds. So it's kind of food for thought, I think. I kind of went into how I started YouTube and why and how I was inspired to do that. But then also inspiring me to do better things in my life, like dealing with charities and so on. And I only hope that, some of these stories and stuff that I tell and some of the conversations that we have in these TimeShot episodes inspires people to do better things and do good things, If you're wondering whether you should donate to me or donate to a charity, I'd always say, follow your heart. I'd almost prefer you to donate to a charity, although chances are you donate to me, I'll be donating to some charity anyway, At the end of the day, it's your decision. Be inspired and follow wherever your inspiration leads you. That's, I think, the best advice. Be water, my friends. I think Bruce Lee can speak for all of us. And just, man, watch that video. And you'll feel just as inspired as I do right now. When I truly say, be water, my friends. And we'll see you next time on TimeShot. Like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and do all those other awesome things that you people do. Bye-bye.